Hello, welcome to another episode of Arthritis and You, A Joint Journey. Today, we've got something special lined up, so buckle up because it's time for the deep dive. Let's give a warm welcome to our hosts, Arthur and Sarah.
All right, so are we ready to dive into this? Omega-3s.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're looking at how they impact rheumatic conditions.
Right.
So specifically things like rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis.
Exactly.
And we're pulling key insights from Alberta rheumatologist stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Both their YouTube video and their article on their website.
Sounds good.
So by the end of this, you should understand the basics of omega-3s,
Mm-hmm.
but also have some actionable insights that you can even take to your doctor.
Yeah.
So I guess the first thing is, what are they? Like, what are omega-3 fatty acids?
Well, they're a type of fat
Okay.
that are essential for our health,
Okay.
meaning our bodies can't make them, so we have to get them from food.
Okay. Got it.
And there are two main types that we're going to be focusing on,
Okay.
EPA and DHA.
Right.
Those are found in fatty fish, primarily,
Okay.
like salmon, mackerel, sardines.
Got it.
And then there's ALA, which is found in plant-based foods,
All right.
like flaxseed and walnuts.
Okay. So one thing that really struck me when I was reading through the research is how bad our bodies are at converting ALA
Yeah.
into the EPA and DHA.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, less than 15%.
It's really low.
That's terrible. So, like, flaxseed and walnuts, they're good.
Yeah.
But if you really need EPA and DHA, you're going to have to go for the fish.
Exactly. And especially if you're dealing with inflammatory conditions
Oh, yeah.
like rheumatoid arthritis, getting EPA and DHA directly from marine sources is really crucial.
Yeah. You know, speaking of rheumatoid arthritis,
Yeah.
there was this one study in the research that I thought was super interesting. They found that omega-3s could actually increase the likelihood
Wow.
of disease remission in newly diagnosed RA patients.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's not just managing symptoms. It's
Yeah.
actually potentially
Yeah.
changing the course of the disease.
Yeah, absolutely. That study really suggests
Right.
a potential role for omega-3s in early intervention.
Wow, yeah. So in the material,
Mm-hmm.
they highlight this recommended daily intake for EPA and DHA.
Yeah.
It's between 200 to 500 milligrams for healthy adults.
Right.
But I'm kind of curious, what about people with existing rheumatic conditions?
That's a really good question.
Do they need more?
Yeah.
No.
That's where it gets a bit more nuanced.
Yeah,
And working closely with healthcare professionals is going to be essential.
got it.
While there's no official recommendation
Okay.
for a higher intake for those with specific conditions,
Right.
some studies have actually used dosages of up to 3 grams per day
3 grams. Wow.
with positive results, particularly for rheumatoid arthritis.
Okay, so
There you
that's
go.
way more than the 2 servings of fish per week
Yeah.
that they recommend for like healthy adults.
It is.
I wonder how practical that even is for people to achieve.
Right, like through diet alone.
Yeah.
It definitely can be challenging.
Right.
And that's where supplements come in. But of course, you want to discuss those with your doctor.
Right. Especially if you're on other medications.
Exactly.
So speaking of supplements, they mention enteric-coated capsules.
Oh, yeah.
What are those?
So those are specially designed capsules
Okay.
that dissolve in the small intestine
Oh.
rather than the stomach.
Okay.
And this can help reduce one of the less glamorous side effects
Oh, I know where this is going.
of fish oil supplements, the dreaded fishy burps.
The fishy burps. Oh, man, I've been there.
Yeah,
Okay, so at least there are ways to minimize them.
exactly. Freezing your supplements can help too,
Oh, really?
as can taking them with a meal.
Okay, good to know. So we've talked about the EPA and DHA, the potential benefits for managing rheumatoid arthritis.
Right.
And we even touched on supplements a bit.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about some of the other potential benefits
Yeah.
of omega-3s. The research mentions things like
Right.
heart health and cholesterol reduction.
Exactly.
Like, how do those fit into the picture?
So that's a great question. And it's one of the things that makes omega-3 so fascinating.
Okay.
They really do have this wide range of potential benefits,
Okay.
extending far beyond just inflammation.
Okay.
For example, EPA and DHA have been shown to help lower triglycerides,
Okay.
which are a type of fat found in the blood.
Got it.
And high levels of triglycerides are a risk factor for cardiovascular disease.
Okay.
So lowering them can have a really significant impact on heart health.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's not just triglycerides.
Right.
Studies have also shown that omega-3s can help raise
Okay.
the levels of good HDL cholesterol.
Oh. Okay.
which further contributes to cardiovascular health.
So it's like this multifaceted approach to
Yeah.
heart health.
Exactly.
That's pretty impressive.
It really is. And
Okay.
the benefits don't even stop there.
What else?
There's evidence suggesting that omega-3s might even play a role
Okay.
in blood clot prevention,
Oh, wow.
so they can help reduce the stickiness of platelets, the cells that are involved in blood clotting.
So it's like inflammation, heart health, cholesterol,
Right.
blood clot prevention.
Mhm.
It's like they're these little superheroes
I like that analogy.
working behind the scenes,
Yeah.
keeping our bodies running smoothly.
And it's important to remember that these benefits are all kind of interconnected.
Okay.
For example, chronic inflammation is increasingly recognized as a major contributor to cardiovascular disease.
Makes sense.
So by addressing inflammation,
Right.
omega-3s might also be indirectly protecting our hearts.
It's like a domino effect.
It's
One
right.
thing leads to another.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's switch gears a bit and talk about safety.
Okay.
The research mentions that EPA and DHA are generally considered safe in doses less than 3 grams per day.
Right.
But what happens if someone takes more than that?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Are there risks?
So while exceeding 3 grams per day isn't generally recommended,
Okay.
the main concern with higher doses is an increased risk of bleeding.
Okay.
This is especially relevant for individuals taking blood-thinning medications.
So once again, talk to your doctor
Absolutely.
if you're thinking about higher doses.
Yeah, always best to err on the side of caution.
Right.
Have a conversation with your healthcare provider.
Okay, so we've talked about the fishy burps.
Yeah.
Are there any other side effects that people should be aware of?
Besides the fishy burps, some people might experience
Okay.
mild gastrointestinal discomfort.
Like what?
Things like diarrhea, heartburn, or nausea.
Oh.
And occasionally, you might notice a fishy taste in your mouth,
Oh, really?
or even a rash.
Okay.
However, these side effects are generally mild,
Okay.
and they tend to subside with continued use.
And they're probably more common with higher doses, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground.
Right.
Potential benefits of omega-3s, research on EPA and DHA,
Right.
safety, communication with your doctor.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to something you said earlier about the inefficiency of our bodies converting ALA
Right.
to EPA and DHA.
Yeah.
That makes me think about, like, vegans and vegetarians.
Yeah, good point.
How do they make sure they're getting enough of these omega-3s?
That is a common concern for people following plant-based diets.
Right.
And while those ALA-rich foods like flaxseed, chia seeds, and walnuts, they are beneficial, they might not be sufficient
Right.
to meet the body's needs for EPA and DHA.
Especially with that low conversion rate.
Exactly.
So are there any good plant-based sources of EPA and DHA?
Fortunately, there are.
Okay, tell me more.
Algae oil.
Algae oil.
It's vegan-friendly,
Okay.
and it's a source of both EPA and DHA.
Oh, wow.
It's derived from microalgae,
Okay.
which are the original source of omega-3s in fish.
So even if you don't eat fish,
Right.
you can still get the benefits.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
And algae oil supplements are becoming increasingly available these days,
Okay.
offering a convenient option for people looking to boost their EPA and DHA intake.
So it sounds like there are options for everyone.
There are.
But as we said many times, talk to your doctor.
Yes, always.
They can help you figure out the best approach for you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've covered a lot today. Before we wrap up, let's highlight a few key takeaways.
Yeah, let's summarize what we've learned.
So first off, omega-3s are essential fatty acids,
Right.
and they play a crucial role in our health.
Yeah, from managing inflammation to supporting heart health.
And we focus specifically on EPA and DHA.
Right, the types of omega-3s found primarily in marine sources.
Right, and these have shown promise in managing those rheumatic conditions.
Yes, like rheumatoid arthritis.
Potentially even increasing the chance of remission.
Exactly.
And beyond the anti-inflammatory effects, EPA and DHA offer a range of potential benefits for heart health.
Yeah, like lowering triglycerides, raising good HDL cholesterol.
And potentially even playing a role in blood clot prevention.
Right.
And while omega-3s are generally considered safe,
Be mindful of dosage, potential side effects, interactions with medications.
and always talk to your doctor, especially if you're considering supplements.
And remember, whether you choose to get your omega-3s from food or supplements, like fish oil or algae oil,
Right.
work with your healthcare provider.
Yeah.
They can help you personalize your approach
Exactly.
and make sure you're meeting your individual needs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like we've built this toolkit for
Yeah.
understanding omega-3s.
A toolkit. I like that.
You've got the knowledge about different types, sources, benefits,
Right.
even safety considerations.
Yeah. And one of the things that really stood out to me
Yeah.
was the potential impact on rheumatoid arthritis.
Right.
Like the fact that they could contribute to disease remission.
It's remarkable.
It's pretty amazing. It really makes you think about the importance of diet and lifestyle
Absolutely.
to managing these conditions.
It's a powerful reminder that food can be medicine.
And while we focused on omega-3s here,
Right.
it's important to remember that
Yeah.
they're just one piece of the puzzle.
Right. There's so much more to it.
Exactly. A holistic approach,
Yeah.
balanced diet,
Yeah.
regular exercise, stress management,
Right.
good sleep.
All that stuff.
All those things are essential for overall health and well-being.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
It's all about creating that environment
Right.
where our bodies can thrive.
Exactly.
So speaking of thriving, is there anything else
Yeah.
people can do to enhance those benefits? Are there any complementary lifestyle factors
That's a great question.
or dietary choices that could work with omega-3s?
It really highlights the interconnectedness of our health
Yeah.
when it comes to omega-3s.
Yeah. Right.
There are definitely some things you can do
Okay.
to optimize their absorption
Okay.
and utilization.
Like what?
For example, making sure you're getting enough vitamin D.
Vitamin D. Okay.
Crucial.
Why is that?
Well, vitamin D helps regulate calcium absorption.
Okay.
And some studies actually suggest
Mm-hmm.
that it might also enhance
Okay.
the anti-inflammatory effects of omega-3s.
So getting some sunshine
Exactly.
could be beneficial.
Especially during winter,
Yeah, when we're not getting as much.
when we tend to get less natural sunlight
Or a supplement.
or a supplement. Exactly.
Okay, what else?
Another important factor is gut health.
Okay.
A healthy gut microbiome
Mm-hmm.
plays a crucial role in nutrient absorption,
Okay.
including the absorption of omega-3s.
Got it.
So incorporating probiotic-rich foods
Okay.
like yogurt, kefir, or sauerkraut
Okay.
could be beneficial.
It's amazing how all these different aspects of our health
You know, right?
are connected.
It really emphasizes the importance of that holistic approach.
Absolutely.
You can't just focus on one thing.
Right.
It's like tending a garden.
Ooh.
You need to nourish the soil,
Okay.
provide adequate sunlight, water regularly to create an environment where plants can flourish.
Yeah.
Our bodies are the same way.
Right.
We need to provide those right nutrients,
Okay.
manage stress, get enough sleep,
Right.
and cultivate a healthy gut microbiome to truly thrive.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It's so true.
It's a beautiful way to think about our health.
It really is, and I think it's a perfect note to end on.
Yeah, I agree.
We've explored this world of omega-3s.
Mhm.
We've looked at the research.
Me too.
We talked about some practical tips
Right.
for incorporating them into your life.
Exactly. And remember, knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
And now you have a deeper understanding of omega-3s and their role in your health journey.
So take this information,
Yeah,
talk to your doctor, and
exactly.
see if omega-3s might be right for you.
Until next time.
Keep exploring, keep learning.
And keep diving deep.
This has been another episode of Arthritis and You, A Joint Journey, brought to you by the Rheum team from albertarheumatology.com, your trusted evidence-based suite of resources available 24/7. Straight from Alberta, but for folks around the world. Our hosts today, Arthritis and Sarah Upis, technical producer, John Ifa, and our executive producer, Stephen Cates. While we work hard to maintain the accuracy of our information, we accept no legal responsibility for any errors or omissions. Remember, always check with your own physician first. Join us next time for another Deep Dive.